As memorials to the victims of the New Year's Day attack on Bourbon Street appeared on the streets of New Orleans, families of the victims have expressed their own grief over their lost loved ones. The brother of Martin "Tiger" Becch, a former Princeton football star who was killed when a driver inspired by ISIS rammed a pickup truck into a crowd, spoke about how the loss of his sibling was the hardest day of his life.
He always had to fight. And that's what he did until the last breath he took. Like I said, I miss him so much, and I love him so much. Yesterday was the hardest day of my life, just living there knowing I can't speak to him ever again.
The parents of Matthew Tenorio, another victim of the deadly rampage, spoke of their fears before their son left to celebrate the new year on Bourbon Street.
I said, "Son, please don't go. It's dangerous over there. It's not the way it used to be. There's a lot of crime. Please stay here." And he's like, "Don't worry about it, Dad. I love you." And we hugged and he left.
While New Orleans may have returned to business as usual, residents of the historic French Quarter have set up memorials to pay tribute to those who died and were injured.
It just breaks my heart. And it really, out of this tragedy, I hope that the city leaders really do realize that they need to get a little bit more of a handle on what happens down here, because there are other events. I just don't want the city to turn the page and just like, oh, it's Super Bowl, we're ready to go. Like, we really need to absorb the fact that this was a huge loss, and that we need to do things to ensure that it never happens again.
US President Joe Biden will visit New Orleans on Monday to console victims' families and meet with city officials.
People in New Orleans are sending an unmistakable message. They will not let this attack or the attackers with deluded ideology overcome us. We're going to continue to relentlessly pursue ISIS and other terrorist organizations where they are, and they'll find no safe harbor here.
With the Super Bowl and Mardi Gras just around the corner for New Orleans in 2025, residents of this city say things can only get better after a tragic start to the year. Alasdair, Baverstock, CGTN, New Orleans.